like I said, some people just make the mistake of suppressing or numbing out and ignoring their pain. They think that there's something wrong with them, they're broken. How come everyone else seems to have their shit together? How come I can't get my shit together? What's wrong with me? I am not enough, I'm not worthy, I mustn't be lovable. All of these voices are just another challenge, another gift from your unconscious mind so that you can level up. Hi love, I'm Laura Evelyn. If you don't know me, I'm an intuitive therapist, and today I just wanted to make a video to talk about realigning your unconscious mind. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to start off by asking you a question. And this is a question that you're probably going to say yes to because, let's face it, you're a human being, right? And we can all resonate on some level with this. So do you ever feel anxious or nervous or fearful, or you have some self-doubt, some self-criticism? Do you ever feel angry, sad, hurt, shame, guilt? Do you ever feel depressed? Do you ever feel overwhelmed, burned out? Do you feel tired, exhausted? Do you feel anything like that? Like any of those negative feelings that we all experience? Well, if you said yes to any of those questions, then have a listen to this, because it's really going to help you navigate those emotions, navigate those feelings, those thoughts, those beliefs, those self-perceived limitations, so that you can move forward with clarity and to align yourself for your highest good. Okay, so let's get into it. Essentially, feeling unaligned just means that you have a disconnection between your conscious mind and your unconscious mind. So your conscious mind is the logical, rational part of you, the one that does the thinking about everyday tasks. Oh, what do I need to do next? What are all the steps? You're rationalizing, you're logicalizing, you're thinking. Then you've got the unconscious mind, which is doing all the behind the scenes work. So that's where you store all your memories. It's where you store your thoughts, your feelings, limitations. It's where you store all your experiences, memories, emotions, all those sorts of things that go on underneath the surface. It's doing all of our breathing, it's doing all of our digesting, growing our hair, growing our nails, doing all that stuff. So it's operating like 95% of the time, while the other 5% of the time, give or take, is where we are thinking and doing and consciously making decisions. Now, when you don't feel aligned, you'll start to feel like these emotions, or you'll get these negative thoughts, or you'll find yourself ruminating in these thoughts and negative energies, these beliefs that are just not serving you, right? They're just holding you back. They're causing anxiety. They're causing fear. They're causing doubt. They're causing stagnation. They're causing you to stay stuck in your comfort zone, right? And oftentimes we can be so hard on ourselves when we feel these things. We can be like, oh, I hate that I feel like this. I hate that I'm doing this to myself. Like, why am I like this? Blah, blah, blah. And so, we'll numb out. We'll do things that distract our mind from that pain. We might go take a nap, or we might go binge watch Netflix, or we might scroll on Facebook, or we might drink alcohol, we might smoke weed, or we might do drugs or cigarettes, or binge eat junk food, or whatever it is. We might even be a workaholic, or we might even be addicted to sex, or addicted to work, or addicted to exercise, whatever it is. We might just decide, fuck it, I'm just going to go and take a nap. I'm just going to shut out the world, pretend nothing's wrong, and get on with my life. Okay, that's a lot of the behaviors that we will do in response to these feelings that we get. Now, what I want you to know is that these feelings, these thoughts, beliefs, behaviors, they're all just signals from the unconscious mind. They're gifts, really, to say, hey, look, this is something that you still haven't worked through yet. This is a challenge that I'm going to present you with, so that you can actually heal this now and work through it. And once you do that, you're going to feel great again. You're just going to feel back on track. You're going to feel aligned. You're going to feel whole and complete. But until you really look at this problem, this challenge, this shitty feeling, you're just going to keep on getting the same sort of results. It's just, you can suppress it, that's fine, but I'm just going to bring it back to you soon and show it to you in another situation. I might bring it to you tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, until you finally resolve this. Now, our unconscious mind is actually our best friend, because I know that it sounds like, oh yeah, well, how inconvenient, why does it have to be like that? But it's actually there to help us grow and evolve and become the best version of ourselves, the most aligned, highest self version of us. Yeah, so the part of us that is amazing and achieves stuff and is motivated and driven and energized and feels good and is authoritative and gets shit done, the part of us that is kind, compassionate, loving, understanding, forgiving, all of those sorts of things. that is our highest self. That is what we want to achieve ultimately. And any challenges that stand in the way of us having that is just our unconscious mind showing us where we need to do the inner work. So it's really just a gift. I mean, it's like the kind of gift, like it's like a little dog shit on your doorstep set on fire, but essentially it's a gift. And the purpose of it is to help you grow. So while our unconscious mind might present us with these challenges in a way that we don't appreciate consciously, it is something that we can really use to help ourselves. So instead of looking at these challenges or negative thoughts or feelings or beliefs or habits, behaviors, self-sabotage, whatever it is, instead of looking at them like, oh, such a pain in the ass, I just want to ignore that, I want to suppress that, I want to numb that out and just continue on with my life heading down this path, we really need to start looking at that and acknowledging it and honoring it and acting upon it with conviction so that we can work through it. Your unconscious mind isn't going to present you with anything that it doesn't feel that you're ready to work with. And remember, your unconscious mind runs 95% of your life. It is what keeps you alive. It's what keeps you growing, thriving, breathing, living, existing. It's really important that we acknowledge and honor our unconscious mind because it is there to help us in every way. It is what preserves us, keeps us alive. It is our identity. And, oftentimes we look at our feelings of anxiety and sadness and frustration and anger and irritation and all of those sorts of things like they're just a pain in the ass. And they are a pain in the ass. They really are. And it's not easy, but they are there again to help us grow. So it's essential that we recognize that, for starters. Essential that our unconscious mind is only presenting us with this because it sees an opportunity for growth here and it sees that you're ready. If you think about suppressed memories, you don't remember sort of suppressed memories because you're not ready to remember them. Your unconscious mind is protecting you from that right now because you're not ready. You don't have the tools, the resources, the mindset, or the capacity to take on that challenge right now. So it's suppressed. And then one day, maybe when you're ready and you've unlocked something within you and your unconscious mind's like, you know what? I think she's ready for this. I think he's ready for this. You will be presented with that challenge and it'll be like, whoa, how did that come up? Where'd that come from? That's a memory I forgot I even had, blah, blah, blah. It's from my childhood. What happened? Like, why am I thinking about this now? And often we'll get like all caught up in the why and the reasons, the excuses, blah, blah. But what we really need to do is like, oh, okay, cool. All right. Okay, I get this. This is another challenge that I've been presented with and I'm about to level up now. Like, this challenge has been presented to me because it's time for me to level up. And to level up, that just means that we have to face this. It's like facing that rock between where you are now to where you want to be. There's this big boulder in the way. And it's like, holy shit, I can't go over it. I can't go under it. I have to go through it. And to go through it, it's going to be challenging. It's going to be hard. You're going to have to like really open up. You're going to have to be vulnerable. You're going to have to be open to whatever comes up and to just navigate your way forward with intuition, with inner trust, with self-belief, with that strength, that resilience, that courage that you've built up right up until now. All of the things that have happened to you in the past have given you something. All of the challenges that you've experienced have been a gift. And once you've overcome them, you can see how they've helped you grow. While you're going through them, it's really hard to see that unless you are very conscious about it, which is what this video is all about. It's about being conscious of the unconscious barriers that we are presented with in our day-to-day life, in our challenges. And to be able to just recognize that they're not there to hurt us. Like, they might seem like they are. It might seem like, why me? Why me? This is so hard. I'm sick of this. Like, is it ever going to fucking end? Like, am I ever going to get to the other side and finally feel free? Whatever. Yeah, maybe, but you have to face it. You have to face it because the more you push it back, the more it just builds up within you. This like energy inside of you that's like stomping their feet like, oh, not getting the picture. I'm just going to come back even stronger tomorrow. I'm just going to come back and fuck them up tomorrow. Like, you can ignore me as much as you want, but it's going to be here when you're ready. So you're going to be ready. You need to start to be conscious about what you want and how you're going to get there. And then your unconscious mind follows those instructions. Your conscious mind is the goal setter and your unconscious mind is the goal getter. Your unconscious mind follows your instructions. It's also following the cues that your conscious mind is giving it that you need to heal. So if you're out there acting a certain way, if you're out there behaving in a certain way, thinking certain thoughts, negative beliefs, limitations, self-doubt, self-hatred, self-loathing, self-sabotage. If you're doing all of these things, your unconscious mind's gonna be like, okay, I'm seeing a pattern here, and it's time for her to work through this for her personal growth and development. Because personal growth and development is one of the main focuses of the unconscious mind, and it wants you to achieve. So when your unconscious mind and your conscious mind are in alignment, you're going to feel good, you're going to feel energized, you're going to feel activated, recharged, you're going to feel happy, you're just going to feel at peace and calm, and like everything's flowing. You're in the flow state, things are working out, you're just on track, you feel like you're achieving what you want to achieve, and everything's going well. Yeah, so that's how you know you're in alignment. How you know you're not in alignment is when those constant challenges keep resurfacing, those shitty feelings every single day or every single week, or whenever that person calls and you see their name pop up on your phone and you get that triggering feeling. It's like, okay, well, what does that mean? Let's get curious about what that is. Like, what's this feeling in my body trying to tell me? Because my unconscious mind is communicating with me all the time. And so my feelings, my emotions, my inner thoughts, my beliefs, my self-talk, they are all just examples of what's going on for me deep within. And we all know that to have a happy, healthy, abundant external reality that we live in, we need to do the inner work. We need to have alignment internally, because perception is projection. So as within, so without. It all starts within. And if you want to have the fucking life that you desire out here, you need to align that in here. So it's about really recognizing where you're holding yourself back, where you're suppressing, where you're ignoring, where you're rejecting the unconscious mind and the gifts of wisdom that they're presenting you with. Yeah? So alignment isn't about getting rid of negativity. It's not about getting rid of negative thoughts, negative beliefs, negative emotions. It's about integrating and aligning. It's about acknowledging, honoring, and taking action on what needs to be done to achieve the result that you want. So if you don't want to feel these things, you just need to get curious with yourself. Like, what do I need to do then? What is this about? What is this telling me? What is the outcome that I want? And what's standing in my way between where I am and where I want to be? This challenge is the boulder. This emotion inside of my body is the boulder, and it's like, okay, can't go over it, can't go under it, got to go through it. So to go through it, what do I need to know? What resources do I need? What do I need to gather so that I've got the strength, the courage, the resilience, the knowing, the belief that I can do this? Because you can pretend the boulder's not there, but you're just going to stay stuck. You're going to stay in the same cycle of ruminating thoughts, ruminating shitty feelings. You're just going to stay there. You're going to stay in your comfort zone. And you might suppress it for a little while. You might turn a blind eye and pretend you can't see it. You might go and drink more alcohol and, numb out and pretend it's not there. But it's there. Just because I turn my head and look another way doesn't mean that the boulder's not there. It's still there. I've still got to deal with it at some point. So why not just deal with it now? Why not just be like, okay, fuck this, let's do it. What is the goal here? What is the outcome that I'm trying to achieve? What does my unconscious mind want me to do to heal this so I can move forward towards where I want to be? That's what you got to ask yourself. What is it? So you need to gather the resources, the strength, the resilience, the courage, knowing that you've done it before, you can do it again. You've overcome every challenge so far. If you're watching this video, you're still alive. I'm sure you've had challenges. I'm sure you've experienced some shit times, and here you are. You've made your way through it. Or maybe you're still experiencing them. Maybe you're stuck in that ruminating cycle where you've just ignored that big boulder and you're just waiting for it to disappear. But it's not going to. It's just not. It's just going to stay there. It might show up in relationships that are toxic. It might show up in lacking of communication. It might show up in low self-esteem. It might show up in weight gain. It might show up in all sorts of bloody shit, like financial problems, career problems. It could show up anyway. Like, it's our external environment, our external reality is just a mirror of what needs to be healed inside. All of those things are all just signs from your internal self saying, hey, there needs to be a hard conversation to be had, because that person, that situation isn't serving you anymore, and you need to get honest with yourself about that. You can ignore it for as long as you want, but you're not going to get rid of this feeling until you face it. So a lot of people make the mistake of thinking, well, if I can just get over my problems, if I can just move forward and ignore the problem and get on with life, then I'll be fine. But that's not how it works. It's just not. It's never going to work like that. It's going to keep coming back up. It's a cycle. It's a pattern. It's a neurological pathway that you have created through your experiences of life. Your experiences in life have programmed you to believe certain things, to think certain ways, to act certain ways, to have these certain habits and behaviors. And until you actually face those, do the inner work, reflect on yourself, discover where you're holding yourself back or standing in your own way, shine a loving light on that, acknowledge it, and act upon it with the intention to grow and heal and align. Until you do that, it's just going to show up in another situation. It really is. And you can see that. You can probably recognize patterns where that's happened before. You've probably been in relationships, for example, where, the first boyfriend you had did this thing and acted this way, and you felt this and you thought that, and you broke up with him or he broke up with you or whatever it is, and then you went on to your next relationship and you saw a similar pattern. Yeah, they're two different people, but the behavior was essentially the same, which resulted in a similar situation, a similar ending, and then you took that into the next relationship, and you've never really done the inner work around the relationship to figure out, well, what's the actual pattern here? What's the root cause of this within me? Because perception is projection, so as within, so without. What's going on within me that's enabling this external behavior to occur? What is it? And once you get clear on that, it's like, self-awareness. I can see where I can see where I can take some responsibility for that situation. Maybe I unconsciously attract that kind of guy because that's just what I've always known. I'm drawn to that behavior. I see it. And even though there's red flags, because I haven't integrated and aligned and learned my lessons from the previous relationships, the red flags are just, they're attractive to me, right? Because I haven't done anything about the red flags. I haven't learned from the red flags. So instead of learning from the red flags, I just see the red flags and run to them like a bull, and it's about, okay, well, no, wait a minute. There's a red flag there. That reminds me of my ex. Curious. What is it about my ex that reminds me of this new guy? What is it that unconscious red flag, what is it telling me? What is it telling me? What do I need to learn? Oh, this guy has similar traits. Oh, this guy talks to me like shit. Oh, well, that's not going to work out well. Why would I want to go back into that same pattern? Well, I don't. So you choose differently. You make different choices, because once you do the inner work, you're shifting your focus from the negative to a whole different world of possibility, of positive possibility. And when you can listen to that intuition, that inner voice that's calling you to do that, then everything falls into place and you are aligned. And then you can start to attract the relationships that are positive for you. And because you know what you don't want anymore. You've taken the learnings and the challenges from the previous relationship and you've worked through those. You've really got quite clear on what they were. What were those challenges? What were they showing me? It's not just, oh yeah, it was a challenging relationship, next. No, you have to actually do the work around that relationship. Take away, reflect upon. Take away the challenges and reflect upon them. What was it about that relationship that was so challenging? For example, what was it about that relationship that was so challenging? What did it teach me? What can I take away from this for the next relationship so that I know to do something different next time? Because if you always do what you've always done, you always get what you always got. What do I need to know that's different so that my next relationships can be healthy, happy, aligned? Yeah? And that's where curiosity is key in all of this work. Curiosity around what you're feeling. What does this mean? What is my inner self, my unconscious mind, my soul telling me that I need to do in order to work through this, to get to the other side, and to become aligned, happy, healthy, well-rounded, focused, clear, accomplished, successful, rich, whatever it is, whatever it is that your goal is and what's stopping you from getting there. That thing that's stopping you from getting there is your unconscious mind showing you what you need to do to get to the other side. So yeah, like I said, some people just make the mistake of suppressing or numbing out and ignoring their pain. They think that there's something wrong with them, they're broken. How come everyone else seems to have their shit together? How come I can't get my shit together? What's wrong with me? I am not enough, I'm not worthy, I mustn't be lovable. All of these voices are just another challenge, another gift from your unconscious mind so that you can level up. And when you feel that shitty feeling, and when you have those shitty thoughts, and when you experience those shitty challenges, remember, they are a gift from your unconscious mind to show you that it's time to level up. This pain that you're feeling, this pain that you're experiencing, is the boundary around your unconscious mind. It is like you've got the problem and then you've got the fence around the problem. And, right now you're in the problem and there's a big brick wall around the problem and you just can't get past it. You're just like, fuck, I'm stuck in the problem. I'm stuck in it. I'm just going to stay here. I'm going to drink myself stupid and I'm just going to stay here because it's comfortable. It's easy. Like, I know that's a problem. I can accept that, but I'm not ready to do the work to make the problem go away. So I'm just going to stay stuck in my comfort zone. And everybody knows that your comfort zone is where your dreams go to die because they just can't get past that wall. Wrong. You can get past the wall. You just have to see through the wall. Maybe crack a little hole in the wall, peer through the little brick crack and see what's on the other side, all the possibilities of if you work through this, what will it give you? If you actually face this fear, this doubt, this challenge, if you ask questions, if you get curious, if you have self-awareness, if you honor and acknowledge and act upon these fears, these doubts, these thoughts, these feelings, if you act upon them and listen to what your inner voice is asking you to do, then you can get to the other side. You're breaking that wall. Because what you're doing, that wall is really just a neural pathway. It's a decision that you've made to stay stuck. It's a decision to remain the same, to stay in this comfort zone, to be a victim. You've decided it's just easier to stay the victim than it is to be the superhero of my own story and bust through that wall. That wall's hard. It's like, yeah, it's going to take a few punches to get that wall down. So I'm just like, you know what? Oh, well, maybe in my next life I'll live a better life and live my happy ending. But in this life, I've just surrendered to the victim mindset. That's what you're doing if you don't do the inner work. You're surrendering to the ego and you're just staying there forever. And the problem will never go away. Ever. You might think it has for a little while. It might seem that way, but then boom, one day something happens and hey, here I am again. Here I am to show you what needs to be done. And, I told you I'd be back. Yeah? And so once you bust through that wall, you get to the other side. It's like, I can fucking breathe again. I can breathe again. I am inspired. I feel aligned. I can see clearly. I know what I need to do. I've taken all the learnings from that challenge and now I know what to do next time if anything similar to this happens again. I just know what I need to do and I can get shit done and I'm so fucking proud of myself and I just feel good. And what you're doing is you're stepping into that higher self. You're leveling up. You've busted through that boundary and you've leveled up. And that's the whole purpose of these challenges, is for you to level up. Because you didn't just come here, you didn't just get born just to sit there and do nothing and stay the same. And you're not the same person you were when you were born. You're not the same person you were when you were born. And with every challenge, with every experience, you are leveling up. Yeah, you have learned to walk. You have learned to talk. You have learned to dance. You have learned to run. You have learned to read. You have learned to write. Like, those were all things that you never used to be able to do once upon a time. And they were hard to learn, but you learned them. You had to. You had to learn them. You might not have wanted to. You might have thought, oh God, this is shit. What's the point? But I bet you now, having those skills, you're like, I would not give that up for anybody. I would not. I need those skills. I'm glad I've got those skills. Like, I'm grateful for those skills and I'm grateful for the challenge that allowed me to develop those skills. Just like you want the skills of self-empowerment and emotional intelligence, you want to be able to handle these feelings and these thoughts with ambition and drive, and to be able to motivate yourself to overcome them. You want to be like, okay, I'm curious about this. Yep, it fucking hurts. It's painful. I don't like it. But I can't go over it. I can't go under it. I have to go through it. And you go through what you go through, you grow through. Yeah? So you are always growing through every experience, every challenge. And so that's what I've got for you today in this video. And if you can take one thing away from this video, it's just to know that your unconscious mind is your best friend. It really is. It's the one thing that you've got that keeps you alive, that keeps you safe, that keeps you thriving and growing and evolving. If you had nothing else in this entire world, no money, no friends, no relationships, no assets, no food, no nothing, at least you've still got your unconscious mind, yourself. And that is a gift to be grateful for. So remember, as your unconscious mind is your best friend, your biggest fan, anything that it gives you is giving you that for growth, for evolution, for you to evolve and become more aligned and become the person that you are here to be. Okay. So I hope this video helped. If you like this video, please press like and share. The more people I can reach with this, the better, because I'm all about that growth and helping others. So please send this everywhere you can on your stories. Tag me in it, Laura Evelyn. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.